Most people don't know that I'm a golf prodigy. Uh, Let me explain it like this. When I met the most famous woman golfer in the world, me and her were friends probably for about 9 years, 10 years. I didn't know who she was. But one day, she found me when I first started working there. And she said, she keep icing Chuck up in the pro shop. What going on with Club Med? Did somebody buy the place and dump a lot of money in it? Because it ain't normal no more. And he said, well, that probably because Lonnie hired his son. And she said, what you mean Lonnie hired his son? How can his son do what I'm looking at out there with no money? Do we have a new budget? Is there a construction budget? Is there a new management company? Why is this place looking like Walt Disney World? And nobody saying nothing about how much money us members put it in it. Right? And I say, She say, did they give you extra money to do what you're doing? I said, no ma'am. She said, I never see you working. She said, I never see the workers working no more. It's like nobody working out here. I said, that because I have everybody going backward now, so they pass each golfer once. I said, they used to go in the order the golfer go in. I said, I changed it. I made them go from 18 to 1 instead of going 1 to 18. I said, wow. I said, that way they pass each golfer once or twice during the day. So me and her met, and I see her every morning playing golf, and I used to stop by and tell her my golf stories about how my first golf lesson and my last, I beat the teacher and he got mad and wanted to shoot me, Mr. Kingstrom at Indian Hills, And my first time playing golf, I beat Kingstrom pretty bad. And he called me a ringer. So you just here to cheat all us out of our money. All the black guys play golf together and they bet money on it. And he thought I would just come in a new guy who say he never played golf and beating everybody, right? And I tell about after the man threatened to shoot me, I jumped off the golf cart and went back to my office. And a guy named Golf Court Charlie come in there and say, hey, boy, but why King Strong want to kill you, boy? I said, I don't know, man. All we did, he was teaching me how to play golf. And then he say, man, you pretty good. He said, I don't normally do this, but let's play a couple of rounds on the bike now because ain't nobody bike there. And I say, I got a bogey, then another bogey, then I got a birdie, a par, and another birdie, and he went berserk. He said, you know what? King Strong should have put a bullet in your ass. How you gonna play golf for the first time to beat the teacher, David? Man, you done played golf before. Quit lying. Like I'm like King Strong. You were gonna try to take all our money. I say, Charlie, I ain't never played no damn golf, man. I said, I held a golf club one time, bro. When I was in like the 6th grade. And I was hitting all the balls off the driving range to the back of the driving range in the lake. And the golf pro stopped them from letting me hit ball because he said he got to pay somebody to get the balls off the lake. So over the years, I told Mickey this story over and over and over. Because every time she paired me in the morning, because she go out there before the golf course open and play. Hit a couple of balls. And she'll say, tell me about your story. But one day, I rode by, always by number 3, which was a par 3. And she said, hey, instead of telling me about your story, she said, I want to see why Sal wanted to teach you for free. because sound is expensive when he teach golf lesson. But it got to be something in you for Sal wanted to teach you for free, right? So we got a number 3 tee. We started on the red, which are the latest. I hit the ball so far up in the air, me and Mickey couldn't even sit no more. It was like we were up in the cloud, and it landed right by the flagpole. She said, "See, can you do that again?" I did it again and again. Then we went back to she said, "Let's go to the blues because you far advanced in women and the men." I say, "The blues?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "I don't know, Mickey, the blues for the pros." She said, "No, let's go to the blues." We went to the blues. She hit 3 balls right in the middle of the greens. Because of par 3. I hit 3 balls right in the middle of the green, almost to the cup. Like one of them was like 6 inches away. And she said, "That's impressive. And you sure you never played golf before?" I said, "No, except for the one time back in the 80s. You know what I mean? And this was like 10 years later, you know. And she said, "Let's go to the yellow." I said, "What the yellow is?" She said, "Oh, them the touring pros. Them the pros that tour, the ones you see on TV." I'm like, "I don't know, Mickey." She hit 3 balls, slap in the middle of the green. I hit 3 balls, slap in the middle of the green. She said, "Oh my God, this ain't normal." Then we went to the Center's pump house. The Center is the name of the golf course we were on. We went to the pump house, way in back of the tee. And I hit 2 balls right in the middle of the green. And she said, "You're not normal. You a natural born pro, I think." But she said, "Let's meet tomorrow, and I want to take you on some par 3s. I mean, on some par 5s. Then I know for sure." She said she'll know for sure if I'm a natural born pro. So the next day we went to 15 on the centers. 2 shots. I'm on the green. She only had a 4 iron and a 7. Then we went to another par 5 on the center. 2 shots, she and I on the green. And she say, "How about me tomorrow? I want to take you to I want to see what you can do on the Saints." She say, "It's one hole on the Saints that will determine whether or not you are a natural born pro," right? We went to, I think it was 14. I think in my book I missed and called it 15 by mistake, but I think it was 14 with the dog leg. And she say, "If you hit this shot over the trees, which most pros will do, you'll save a shot because it's gonna land close to that green, saving you a shot." She said, "But be careful because if that ball hit that tree, you're gonna have a nightmare." Right? So she took it safe. She landed in the dog leg, the middle of the dog leg. She said that plan is safe. And she said, "But I want to see, can you hit over the tree?" The trees were high too, man. I hit that ball so high you couldn't even see it. We couldn't even see where it landed. And lo and behold, when we came around the dog leg, my ball was 8 inches from the collar. And she said, "Oh my God." She said, "If I were you, I'd putt from there," right? Cause right by the collar. She said, "I were you, I'd putt from there. I won't chip it, I'll put it," right? So me and her went there. I put it. And I went in the hole, I think in 2, on a par 5. It was a 2 or 3, maybe a 3. Because I put it and it stopped right by the hole. And then I hit it again, so that was a 3, which was an eagle or something she called it. And she said, she never saw anybody hit an eagle on that hole. She said, "Why your father wouldn't take you to them lessons?" And she was crying. And I say, Mickey, please don't cry. Please don't make me cry, Mickey. Please don't make me cry. She said, but if he would have took you to them lessons, Tiger Woods would be chasing your record and not Jack Nicklaus. She said, I have never seen nothing like this in my life except for Cabin Pete. She said, but you different. He was a golf prodigy. He taught himself. She said, you a golf prodigy. Not only a golf prodigy, you's a superintendent prodigy because you done turned this place into something I never dreamed it would be before. And I say, Mickey, don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. And she said, I'm going to talk to your father because I need to know what's going on. I said, no, Mickey, leave him alone. I say, he weird and he don't want none of his, not just children, no black people to do better than him. He don't want to see no black people succeed. And she said, why? I said, he just don't. He ready, if I'm going to become a millionaire, he'll tell me to let a white stranger be the millionaire and me work for the white man. I said, that's just how he is. She said, but it makes no sense. If Sal wanted to teach you free, why wouldn't your daddy bring you to the lesson? Y'all would have been millionaires. I said, that's the thing about it. He don't want the money. He want all the glory. He don't care about he could have been a millionaire or billionaire. Only thing he want to be is the shining light for the white man on the golf course. Say, Lonnie sure got it looking good. Boy, that Lonnie got the place looking great. That's all he want to hear. He don't want no money or nothing. And me and her got silent. And she said, go ahead and take me back to the centers. And I took her to the centers. And when I was pulling off, I could still see her crying. And I found out later that this lady was the greatest female golfer to ever walk on the planet. And I asked my brother them and the rest of the workers, why y'all wouldn't tell me who that lady was? They said, because your daddy told us don't tell you who she is because if she help you find a job, all us gonna get fired. And my older brother looked me in the face and said that, and he was sad when he said it. I say, so he sacrificed me from being suffering and poor my whole life so a bunch of other people can make minimum wage? I said, that crazy, man. He called me a job with the President of the United States so these people can make minimum wage. I said, that crazy, man. And that's my story, and it will be called in the book, In the Doom, Playing Golf with an Angel. Thank you, and God bless.